When the clock strikes midnight, the murmurs begin. But this isn't just another spooky story time. It's a bone-chilling blend of shadowy fiction, disturbing true crime, eerie legends, and interviews that just might haunt you. From cursed hallways to the darkest corners of the human psyche, nothing is off the table. And if our voices have found you, it may already be too late. New episodes drop each week. Follow Murmurs at midnight and invite the darkness in. The Aswang in Arkansas. Welcome to Murmurs at Midnight, where stories don't just fade away, they cling, they follow. This one, it came across an ocean. It clung to a suitcase owned by a boy named Ben, and now it prowls the outskirts of Fayetteville, Arkansas. They call it many things, but back in the Philippines, they feared only one, the Aswang. She could drink blood straight from your neck or tear you open and feast on your liver while you sleep. But the worst part, she looks normal. Maybe like your teacher, your mom, or your grandmother. Human, kind even, during the day. But at night, though, she changes. She slips through shadows, hides in daylight, and feeds on children when we're not watching. Tonight, I'll tell you what happened in the quiet hills of Arkansas, where pine trees seem to whisper her name, and thunder speaks of things we shouldn't name. Ben was 10 when his family moved from the roar of Quezon City to this stretch of green and quiet. Fayetteville felt endless, green creeping over everything, washing out the memory of Manila's noise. Their house stood on a lonely hill, weathered gray, slumping like it kept secrets. Its porch stared at a stretch of woods that didn't exist on any map. His mother said it reminded her of Baguio, a Baguio before time changed it. That first morning, fog tangled with dew, wrapping their slippers in wet. A squirrel peered from the forest edge, eyes locked on them, and it never blinked. His father drove to Springdale every morning to fix trucks, while his mother stayed home, cooking sinigang that made your jaw clench, praying softly as she folded clothes, and every morning she salted the windowsills. Ben didn't love Arkansas. The other kids at school called his lunch weird and asked if he could do karate. But one kid didn't. That was Caleb. Blonde hair covered in dirt, mismatched shoes muddied from gravel. He loved Ghostbusters and tossing pebbles at nothing. Every day, they walked home together. One afternoon, Caleb paused and pointed to the woods.
Ever gone in there?
Ben shook his head.
Mom says it's cursed.
Caleb laughed it off.
My grandma says there's a witch.
Ben didn't laugh back because in the Philippines, a witch wasn't harmless. That night, thunder rolled in without warning. His mother paused her rosary, looked up.
Don't watch the lightning.
She said.
It calls those who feed on light.
Ben wanted to ask what she meant, but didn't. She said nothing more. Weeks went by. Ben now slept with the closet light on. Caleb taught him biking on rocky paths. They once found bones behind the shed. Too small, too clean. His mother prayed harder now. Salt appeared along all the window edges. And at dinner one evening, she spoke of monsters, the manananggal, the tikbalang, and then Aswang.
She can look like us,
She whispered.
but she's not one of us.
Ben asked, voice small.
Does she follow you?
She didn't answer, only lit another candle. Ben started hearing things at night, quiet voices in the forest, soft, insistent. He woke up one morning, mud on his feet. Another morning, black feathers in his bed, slick with something dark. Caleb? He didn't mock him, but he didn't dismiss it either. Then that afternoon, His mom drove to the market,
I will only be gone for 10 minutes.
she said, but she never came back. They found her car, door open, engine running, groceries strewn like someone just left, footprints, then nothing. Ben didn't speak for 3 days. His father looked in the woods every day, until one day he stopped. Only Caleb kept showing up at his side. One night, the air itself shifted, thick, hot like soup. No crickets, no wind, just silence. Ben sensed it. Caleb did too, so they did what boys do. They followed it. They slipped past a sagging fence. Ben's flashlight trembled in his fingers as the trees loomed, leaves thick and dripping. Mud sucked at their boots. Thunder cracked, closer now. The woods whispered again. Ben called out. Something answered, not with words, not human. Caleb turned, face pale.
We gotta go!
He said, but it was too late. A shape moved ahead, slow, low. A woman sliding across the forest floor. Her face, too long. Eyes black as charcoal, and her mouth stretching too wide, almost impossible. They ran as lightning split the sky and rain battered down. Ben's legs ached. Mud pulled at him like hungry hands. Behind them, laughter, thin, female, unnatural. Branches snapped at their faces. Thunder roared overhead. And she followed. Ben tripped and hit the ground, rolling into a creek bed. Caleb's footprints, gone. And then she hovered over Ben, tongue flicked from her mouth, hissing.
Masarap.
She whispered. Delicious. Her claws reached. But around his neck, the crucifix, his mother's. He held it up, and a scream tore from his throat. She vanished, ash and steam in the rain as the downpour broke and the lightning faded. Ben crawled home, alone. They never found Caleb or Ben's mother. The empty house stood quiet, too quiet since his father stopped talking. Ben kept the crucifix, but it never felt warm again. Locals say the woods changed somehow. Birds abandoned their nests, the deer fled. But some whisper this: if you stand in that clearing beyond the fence and you wait for lightning, you'll hear it. A woman's laugh and a boy calling out.
Mama!
So if you ever move to the edge of the woods, if the trees feel too close on you, if thunder seems like it's calling, don't go after it. And for the love of all that is holy, don't answer back. This has been Murmurs at Midnight. Sleep well tonight, if you still can.